Coming to you at 11:59 on the button. It's Wellness Nerd Out time! What's going on, guys? Happy Wellness Nerd Out time. And happy birthday, Tyler Graham and Will Weed. This one is absolutely for you guys. So, what I want to do today is answer a question we had, and that was how to get enough protein with a plant-based diet. It's a great question a lot of people have. If you have a plant-based diet, there are a lot of benefits, but it is lacking in certain areas, and we have to be careful not to fall into nutritional deficiencies, right? So first off, one thing that is good about animal-based protein is it generally contains a more complete profile of amino acids. And there are majorly 20 amino acids that we talk about, 9 of them being essential. That means we have to get them from the diet. And so animal protein typically has are typically complete proteins with all 9 essential amino acids, whereas most plant-based proteins, the vast majority, are incomplete proteins. They do not contain all 9 of the essential amino acids. This not to mention, animal protein is better absorbed than plant protein. About 90% of animal protein will be absorbed, and about 60 to 70% of the plant protein we take in will be absorbed. Okay, so when we talk about complete sources of protein in general, what we're talking poultry, meat, fish, dairy, things like milk, but also eggs, also edamame or tempeh or tofu. Those are whole sources of soy. So for somebody who's plant-based, maybe you look for something like that. Again, whole sources of soy, like edamame, tempeh, or tofu. This, not to mention, we can have some fortified foods that'll give us more nutrients and things like that. Now, milk, those soy foods and eggs are probably your 3 best bets, for the most part, of getting those complete amino acid profiles if you're having something plant-based. At least if you're vegetarian, if you're vegan, then you're skipping the eggs, right? But eggs are great. Not to mention they're a good source of vitamin D, which is one thing we might be missing out on if we have a plant-based diet. We just have to be very careful to make sure that we're getting enough vitamin D in things like mushrooms or milk or fortified cereals or fortified orange juice, or maybe a plant-based milk, right, which would give us a lot of calcium as well. Dark leafy greens would give us a lot of calcium because we have to worry about getting enough calcium if we're having a plant-based diet as well. And so, Salgadam, can I repeat what? Okay, we'll let you think about that. So, also, we want to make sure that we're getting enough zinc and iron, right, if we have a plant-based diet. So we're looking at whole grains, fortified cereals, beans, things like that. Make sure we get plenty of that. Now, one of the problems we run into, speaking of iron with a plant-based diet, is it's non-heme iron generally, and so we don't absorb it as well. Actually, we absorb about half as much iron with non-heme as we would, say, heme iron, which we find in animal-based proteins. But this all comes with a caveat, right? A plant-based diet is rich in antioxidants. It's anti-inflammatory, right? It contains a lot of fiber. And so it helps to feed our gut bacteria, which affects our mood, our immune system, lowers inflammation, things like that, right? The absorption of other nutrients. So when we talk about protein, well, what are some plant-based sources that are a little bit higher in protein, right? Because that is the major focus of this video, is the protein portion of the plant-based diet. And so we have nuts, seeds, legumes like beans or lentils. Again, if you're a vegetarian, go for something like eggs, maybe some animal-based foods at least you would include in your diet. And we have those soy products, right? Now, take something like amaranth, for example. It's a grain, and it'll have about 3 grams of protein for 84 calories in 1 ounce, right? And then you take something like steak, where we're going to have 7 grams of protein and 75 calories in 1 ounce, right? So a lot more bang for your buck protein-wise with that steak. But then you have rare exceptions like seitan. Seitan is just the gluten. When you remove the starch, what's left over, just that pure gluten protein. And seitan is 25 grams of protein with 105 calories per ounce. So even higher than steak is seitan in terms of protein content. But at the same time, seitan doesn't have a complete amino acid profile. So again, we're not getting all the essential amino acids we would like. We could name them, you could look them up. But you can always remember the essential amino acids by, it's very true that most people love having love. Isoleucine, valine, tryptophan, threonine, methionine, phenylalanine, leucine, histidine, and lysine. Those would be the 9 essential amino acids that we need to get from the diet and that we are referring to when we talk about a complete amino acid profile. Right? So, now, what are the benefits of lean meats, compared to vegetables? Also, if you want some B12 and you're a vegetarian or you have a plant-based diet, maybe go for nutritional yeast. Nutritional yeast also contains a bunch of B vitamins, things like that. I think a bunch of B's, but other vitamins, and nutritional yeast is a great thing you can put on a lot of foods. So my sister Natalie, she uses it all the time. She's not a vegetarian. It's just super nutritious, so she has it. But nutritional yeast, a phenomenal thing to supplement with your meals, to add on top. It has pretty good texture too. It's almost like a cheese if you mix it in to whatever you're eating, right? Probably something hot and in a bowl would be good with it. Now, like quinoa, right? Quinoa has a complete amino acid profile as well, by the way, if we did not say that. Right? So there are plant sources that, again, have complete profiles, but they're rare. Now, plant-based diets, typically, they, like we said, they reduce inflammation. They reduce your risk for developing cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes mellitus. They lower your risk for developing certain cancers like colorectal cancer, prostate cancer, pancreatic cancer, or stomach cancer, for example. Now, having said that, these lean meats, like fish and poultry and things of that nature, they also lower your risk for developing type 2 diabetes mellitus, heart disease, and the same cancers aforementioned. So, you get a lot of benefits with the meat in that regard too, right? Now, you get some omega-3s in the meat, but if you wanted a good source of omega-3s as a vegetarian, well, interestingly, they derive it from algae commonly if you're looking for an omega-3 supplement, right? But you can also find omega-3s in berries and things like that. But we really talk about fatty fish, when we talk about omega-3s, and nuts, you can find them too, and seeds, right? So if you're a vegetarian, you'd want a lot of those things. Now, here's a big issue when you're trying to get enough protein as a vegetarian. If we're having all these nuts and seeds and whole grains and things like that, well, we talked about how amaranth, for example, had 3 grams of protein and 84 calories in an ounce. And that's nothing near the steak that we said, right, as an example, with 7 grams in an ounce, right? And that was for 75 calories. So what's going to happen if you're trying to get as much protein in a plant-based diet if you're not having, say, something like seitan? Well, you're going to have a lot of calories, right? And you just might not be in ketosis either. Not as many fat-based, plant foods, right, that have fat as the major energy source. We talk about nuts and seeds and, avocados and olive oil, right, things like that. But, typically you're getting a lot of carbs and you're getting a lot of soluble fiber, and that's great. But if you want it to be keto and you want it to burn a lot of fat, well, maybe, incorporate some lean meat too, right? So I think the answer in the end is pretty much, well, there's no black and white. But one thing's for sure, don't be totally conservative and don't be totally liberal. Just believe in things that make sense, and what's right is right. And, eat things how nature intended. Eat things we find in nature, right? They have not only amino acid profiles that are appropriate to animal meats, right, and plants, alike, providing different nutrients and phytochemicals and things like that. But the combinations in which these vitamins and minerals are contained within the foods is natural in the sense that they act synergistically for the most part, and that's why they're contained in the same things and meant to be had together. All right, so let's give nature a little credit and eat things as we should, and probably not be so black and white, like we said with the political example. We're not political here at When Wellness at all. We just do what's right, and we try to, and not judge people, live a good life, use common sense. I wish more people would do that, but at least we do our best at it. But have some animal protein sometimes, and have a lot of plant-based foods too. Eat all that healthy stuff. And if also you want some more calcium, those leafy greens, I don't know if we said coconut milk and almond milk mixes are great. Like we said, B12, look for your nutritional yeast. Vitamin D, you got those mushrooms, those fortified cereals, fortified orange juice, among other things, right? So eggs are great. And that's about it. So I hope that was useful. I hope you got something out of it. And I hope it had a positive impact on how you look at food. Happy birthday, Will Wheat. Happy birthday, Will. When I think of you, man, no plans today, man. Ex-psycho. I've been studying some facts to brush up on for this video. We do research every day here at When Wellness. We're always learning more. And, we share it with you guys, but we knew a bunch of that from school as well, so it wasn't all too bad. But we had a fun day. I played croquet today. That was fun. Yeah, don't do that every day. So, happy birthday, Will Weed. Will, great natural athlete. He played soccer, played rugby, he had a good foot. You got hurt every now and then, but I'm sure if you didn't, man, you would have had some long-lasting career. Maybe you'll play again. The Victorian Club in Santa Monica. Enjoy it, baby. Thank you, Kuchendor. Thank you very much. Hope you're having a great night. Will, what else do I think of? I think of a guy who I used to chill with. Remember that, man? When you were in like H Quad and we would hang out between classes and things like that. Have an awesome time. Just chilling in the woods, going down to that pond and having deep conversations. Man, I miss those times. Simple, great times. I love you, man. I want you to know this one's for you. Happy birthday. I remember I sang All of American Pie to you on the rugby bus once. That's like a 7-minute song, so that was your birthday song. So you can count that. It's 89. Malcolm, what's up? I'm in New York, ex-psycho. Long Island, New York, baby. Yeah. What else? Okay. Happy birthday, Tyler Graham and Ethan Eaton as well. So Tyler, damn, man, you're married, you have kids, your life is totally different. Good rugger. We had a good time playing next to each other. I'd be 12, you'd be 13, or I'd be throwing it to you out on the wing, or, we would just tear it up out there. It was really fun. And always good chemistry, not just on the field, but as friends. And I hope you had a really great day today, man. I want you to know I'm thinking of you, and this one's absolutely for you. So I can't wait for your bachelor party or anything like that. So, yeah, absolutely, John, New York City Fitness. My pleasure. Do I do PT in person? I'm a chiropractor, so I do that in person. Oh, personal training in person, sorry. Physical therapy, I think, when I see PT. Yeah, I do. I do it remotely too, but if you were here, I could train you. We gotta remember who we're talking about. Tyler Graham, enjoy it. This one's for you. Happy birthday. Ethan Eaton, what's up, man? Happy birthday, dude. I think of poker when I think of you, because that's how I met you, and that's how we've had all those great conversations, sitting down at the table for 6 hours and just enjoying each other's company and shooting the shit. And that's one thing I'm so thankful for in poker, is that you get a chance to sit down with people and really learn something about them. You don't have that opportunity often in our everyday lives. Typically, we just sit down with family for dinner, and you don't really get the chance to sit down with friends for a long time or to meet new people like that. Marcus Rose Fashion, how you doing, man? But it's something that I didn't take for granted, and I'm I want you to know it's forever your day in the book of When Wellness as well. All three of you. So happy birthday, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. My nationality, I'm half German, half Italian. That's me. Hitler and Mussolini. I'm just kidding. Hitler was Austrian, so whatever. Philip Hartzell, how you doing? Hassan 89 Malcolm, so what's up? Ring Sumo, how you doing? Kuchindor, we said hi. Roland Dante, how are you, my friend? Johnny New York City Fitness. Ariel Kinch, the real Sammy, how you doing? Darian 22, Darian. Chesty, what's going on? Nalharian, Cambo, DO9, how you doing, my friend? Rank 3111, what's happening? Daniel, VD21, Elwood Young, Cupid Zarro, Sonny's 665770, user with a bunch of numbers. How you doing? JK Swar, Kama Jr., Broken Youth. Tate Arafa, how you doing? Thomas Bedola, Hannah Soul, Danny Kipp, what's up, my man? Sagadam, I don't know what you want me to repeat. You're going to say it. Joe, Young Blood, how you doing? Giaj Servcall, how are you, my friend? Jug Servcall. Ron PRZKJ. Tom Nafty, what's up? Josh Winter, Andrew. Thank you, Steven Martinez. Maggie Bex, what up, Meg? Miguel, how you doing? Winter Targaryen, how are you, my friend? F Delt, what's up? Symphony Samuel. Thank you, Raven Lifts. That's awesome. Bray J, Jose 85 Nene. It's got a ring. I like that. Tony J. Colbert, Stephen Martinez. Crystal, what's up? Little Danny Lee. You guys have a great rest of your night. Thanks a lot. Arianasis, we'll see you later. Not sure where, not sure when, but we'll see you then. Thanks, guys. Leave time alone. Forstoft. What's up? Good night.